What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on this video, chances are you are a rank and renter or you're looking to get into the game of rank and rent digital real estate lead generation. And if you're anything like the rest of us that have been doing this for a long time, chances are that you absolutely hate writing your website content.
I hate it. I hate it.
And that is what all of us absolutely hate with a burning passion.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it at all.
It's why a lot of people choose to outsource or go with AI content generators. But like the title of the video says, I stumbled upon this because I was able to use this method to write 44,000 words of content in about 4 hours. Actually, it was like closer to 4.5 hours, but more on how I did this after the intro.
I'm on my way to go quit my job right now.
So in this video, I'm going to go over the 4 steps, which is my secret to pumping out a ton of content every single day and is single-handedly the only way that I'm able to build one of these rank and rent digital real estate assets every single day. Step number 1 is hopefully you're going through some sort of a research or due diligence process beforehand. You're going through and you're researching the competition that you're going to be going after, and you're writing down a list of keywords with hopefully transactional and commercial search intent, right? So the whole point of doing this is we want to be thinking like the searchers, okay? Google doesn't care about us, they care about their searchers. So we need to think like our searchers if we want to show up in as many places where they are searching for the type of leads that we want to generate and ultimately forward over to our business owner partners. So have a list of your top keyword phrases is step number 1. Step number 2 is to take that list and to outline it on a Google Doc from top to bottom. The way I usually structure my homepage is I have a general paragraph about whatever my service is about, and then I have all my additional keyword phrases, whether they're additional services, maybe they're different types of material, or maybe they're neighboring cities and I'm just mainly like locality based. Whatever it is, I align all of that out on my Google Doc. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is to then go to the top, and this is the secret, okay? This is the juice. So step number 3 is go to the top of your Google toolbar and you're going to click the button that says tools, and there's going to be a drop-down menu. In that drop-down menu, there's going to be an option for voice to text, okay? This is the secret, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and expound a little bit on this. The reason why this works so well is because whenever we're doing something, we're creating something, which writing is where we're supposed to be using the creative side of our brain. But what happens if we do it the way that everybody else has either taught us or we just don't know any better to do is we stand in front of a blank Google Doc and we try to type out all of the content, usually with one of our competitors' articles open on a separate screen where we can kind of see the way that they wrote their content, and then we just spin it and write it in a new way, right? That's what we've all done from the very beginning. However, when we do that, we're using the critical side of our brain to do that. So we're typing stuff out and we're deleting it, typing it out, deleting it. And the more ADHD or attention problems that you have, or even perfectionist syndrome that you have, the more critical you are as you're writing. And it could take a day, 3 days, 5 days, 7, 9 days. Who knows? This could be the obstacle that derails so many people from even pursuing rank and rent and actually getting to the point where they can make money with it, because they get so hung up on writing the content. It's so boring and it's the worst. Or you just outsource it to somebody else. You get back a decently written article and you have to go through and edit it. Anyways, that's another way that you can do it. But if you want to write it yourself and you don't want to pay any extra money for tools or AI content writers, do it this way. Use the voice to text feature and put your cursor under each of those keyword phrases and then just start talking. Explain it as if you were explaining it to a friend, just in casual chit chat, right? That's going to make the creative side of your brain flip on, and it's going to make it so much easier for those words to just roll off the tongue and to get a lot of words on the page. Now it's going to be filled with ahs and ums and ands and punctuation errors and all that kind of stuff. And don't worry, I'm going to attach a tutorial at the end of this video so you can see it in action and how I actually do it. But then step number 4, after you've gotten all of your words on the page, it's going to be probably a big block of text. You're going to go through and you're going to space it out, and you're going to make coherent sentences, and you're going to make sure your keywords are all weaved throughout, but not too much. You don't want to keyword stuff, but you're going to make sure that all of that stuff is there. And then you're going to copy and paste it into your website editor. And that is what's going to allow you to do, homepage. I'm doing about 1,500 words, between 1,000 and 1,500 words, depending on how much of a role I'm on that day, how much on the topic I actually know about. So you'll see in the tutorial video that I'm going to attach at the end is you're going to see me. I have one side of my screen open to just a well-written article, maybe Wikipedia, whatever, something where I can kind of read in between paragraphs and then go over and start talking about it, pause, go look at the article, read it again, or look up a new article if the topic has changed, and then go back and forth until I have it all out. And I think in the tutorial, if I'm not mistaken, it's a little over 1,300 words that I was able to generate in 30 minutes. So pretty quick there. And then, it'd take maybe another 30 minutes or so to get the 3 auxiliary pages of about 500 words on the page. And then I go through and I edit it all. It takes maybe half hour to another hour to do that. And by that time, I'm about 2 hours into the process. And then I take another hour to lay out my website, which I have templates for already. So everything's already laid out. I get my images, I optimize my images, and go buy my tracking phone number and buy my domain and then publish the site. That's literally how much time I've gotten this down to, is about 3 hours to pump out an entire site, which I consider an entire site. One homepage with at least 1,000 words of content, 3 auxiliary pages of 500 words around. Sometimes there's been a few that are in the 400 range, but that's what I'm shooting for each time. The nice thing about using the voice to text and getting in that flow state is that I get a bunch of words on the page and I don't have to worry about, checking my word count every few sentences to see, oh my gosh, am I at 500 yet? Or am I at 450 or 750 or whatever your word count goals are based off of the research that you've done. After you've done step number 4 and you've edited everything and made sure that there's no keyword stuffing going on or anything like that, you're going to have a completely finished amount of content. And that's it. That's the secret. I'm going to show you a tutorial here in a minute on me actually going through the process. So be sure to stick around so you can watch that. But in the meantime, make sure and click the subscribe button below, turn on your notification bell so you can get future value drops like this. I hope you found value in this. Go ahead and comment below if you have additional questions on my processes or anything that I do. And again, check out the links in our description. You've got our Facebook group you can go to. You've got our rank and rent step-by-step guide that you can get as well. You can download for free. If you're new to rank and rent, that's going to be a valuable resource for you to make sure that you don't go down any of the wrong paths. And yeah, at the end of the day, share with me your wins. I hope you're out there killing it. And I hope that the rank and rent business model blesses your life as much as it's blessed mine. I'll see you in the tutorial. So I'll go ahead and start it. And time is clicking. So I'll go ahead and exit out of here so you guys can see how I get there. But what I have, and this is kind of how I structure my page here, you can see I've got a article of some sort for reference. Okay, I just typed in concrete coating. I found some Wikipedia articles, some different things that I can use to kind of generate some good content ideas. And one suggestion I have for you is that you should somewhat be an expert or at least know a little bit. And if you don't know much about the niche that you're going into, take 30 minutes to just learn as much as you can about it, why it's important, why it's good, why it's bad, pros, cons, just anything you can. And then of course, as most of us normally do without even voice to text, we have a second monitor up or something where we're looking at a competitor's website and we're getting ideas and then trying to just respin that content to build the content for our pages. So I've got this page up here, and then what I do is I just put my keywords that I find during my method of keyword research. And so for this one, I have it lined out where we're going to do a general paragraph, a paragraph about general garage epoxy, patio coatings, and concrete staining. So 1, 2, 3, and I can marvel through any of these at the same time. So what I do is I come in here and I put my cursor right here, and then I go tools, voice typing, and then this little microphone comes up. Okay, And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this. And for the most part, I might read a little bit back and forth, but I'm just going to start talking. And you're going to see that my critical brain is going to want to dip in here and try to tell me, you know, oh, that's bad, that sounds bad, or whatever. But you just got to keep going. There's going to be ahs and ums and ands, and there's going to be sentences that don't make sense. That's okay. Just get the words on the page. Don't worry about it and move forward. And at the end, then you can go through and edit it. So time's ticking. Let's go ahead and do this. Most homeowners need to realize that they have to take care of their concrete surfaces just like they would any other surface or material on their property, period. The reason why So there you have it. You just saw the voice to text option that I used for 30 minutes to write 1,350 words of content. Now, as you can see on the screen, there are tons of mistakes that I made in the grammar and spelling and all the different things that I'm going to have to now go back through and edit, which is totally fine. Now, my process that I've been doing for my Rank and Rent 313 challenge is that I go out and build the auxiliary pages, whether they're neighborhood pages and cities neighboring the area, or maybe they're material pages that talk about individual materials of whatever my service is for my site, or if it's additional services that I might provide as that type of a niche. So with that being said, I go through and do 3 more pages of about 500 minimum words, shoot for 750 most of the time, somewhere in between there, just to get my site published. And obviously going through and making sure that it all sounds normal. So those other 3 pages may take me another 20 minutes or so to get the words on the page. And then it takes me maybe 45 minutes or so to go through, read through it quickly, break up the text, and make sure that everything is easy to read, and that I'm making sure that when I go place it into my website, that it's broken up, it's not long block text, it's a good user experience as Google loves, and that it is rich, helpful, well-written content. And with that, I'm out.